Here's the answer to the question, which controls? The law, the Davis-Sterling Act, or the governing documents? The answer is it depends on the subject of the law. There are some laws that the legislature cares so much about that they trump. And then there are some laws or subjects they want to regulate they don't care at all about, and they let you do what you want. So for example, a law regulates something the legislature wants to completely control, they do. For example, in the discrimination context, or in the you can't ban satellite dishes, right? Because in that case, they were responding to companies like Disney that had an interest in making sure that they could advertise in your home. So they want you to have the most available channels. This happens a lot in the HOA world, by the way, where you see a collision, the marriage, a public policy idea that may be very good, laudable, free speech, First Amendment, lots of information on the way, combining with the interests of a special interest group, like in that case it was cable channels and Disney. But we have this all over the place. The real estate sign, okay, we want to facilitate sales, and we want to respond to a very, very powerful lobbying force, the California Association of Realtors. What does the board get to decide, and what do homeowners get to decide? So this is a different kind of which trumps question, right? Before it was the state or your governing documents, and this is the board or the members. Internally, so here's a funny thing. If this describes all of the decisions you make, all but this little piece right here are made by the board. The Corp Code says, your bylaws probably say, the board of directors has the authority to act on the association's behalf. Except to the extent that some things are given to the members. Now, there aren't that many things given to the members, but they're the most important things. Big dues increases except for emergencies. Election and removal of directors. Amendment of the CC&Rs. Big capital improvements. Annexation, dissolution. Given away common area. Typically, those, call it 6 things, are given to the members, meaning you need membership approval. Sometimes bank loans. But other than that, all decisions are made by the board. So that's a little bit like it is with the association as well. The directors make most decisions, but the big ones are made by members. And of course, there's an awful lot of delegation. So in effect, we're delegating authority to the board, and the board can delegate to management, and typically does. Yes.
Is there a danger in the board deciding, oh, maybe this is an issue that we should ask for an advisory vote, for instance?
So I'm just going to see how much time we have. Oh, wow, I never started this thing. 50 minutes. No groaning. So I was going to say later, I've been involved in many membership votes and involving, big money or big changes or that sort of thing, both when it was required and when not. And I think that a board has to be able to lead. And to lead, it has to be able to garner people's confidence that you are doing your best, meeting in open, generally, evaluating alternatives. And with that, even people who don't agree are less likely to object what you're doing. So, I think that I've seen this true. I don't know if you've had big things happen, but I think that the body politic in a community is like a bell curve. You know what I mean? A bell curve goes like this. And at this end, you're going to have people who are going to support the board. probably they're liquid enough, they're comfortable in their financial situation, their health is reasonably okay, they think you're doing good enough, they don't come to that many meetings, they'll love the weather. At the other end, there are people who are going to vote no, and it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you're promoting, and they're going to vote no. So the real challenge for a board is to find the sweet spot of that bell curve and to show them that you are trying to get along, that you don't hate each other so much that you can't have a civil debate about issues, right? That you're able to do the people's business, and from that, you can make a decision. So to your point, a poll can be useful, except that, everybody says, oh, well, you just wrote the poll to get the result you wanted. So what I say to people is, if you're going to do a poll, recognize the risks, and see if you can get people from across the political spectrum to assist you in creating the poll, to create a gravitas with it, as opposed to it coming top-down from the board as a trick to shove a decision down people's throat. That's sort of the long answer to that.
Common sense.
So again, the Open Meeting Act, now that was going from global, now let's go a little bit local. The the Open Meeting Act, is this idea that decisions should be made as open, so that the people who, this is not for directors. It's a pain in the butt for all of us, because we want to be able to do things by email, and everybody gets that. But it's a law for homeowners. It is intended to be sure that they have the chance to see their elected officials doing the people's business and what they're thinking about. Because